Miach. Oh, you're so silly. Oh. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. Wanting blubber nuggets, a scoot stream this late? Oh, what is that? Oh. The rat. I can still move the thing because I'm using a controller, but it's gonna stay out of focus the whole time. Yeah. Yeah, scoot stream. Do that. Oh. Engagement? Oh, thank you for the engagement, very. Oopsie. Yeah, Maddie got home today at like 5-ish. And then she went to bed at like 7:30 and I was a little bit tired, so I did a snuggle with her and then I was like, whoop, it's 10 o'clock. She's still sleeping. She just does that and goes to bed early. Probably not gonna be talking much, just doing Tetris. Tetris time. I did do a Splatoon stream for like an hour and a half earlier today. And it sucked. Because I was using InkVac. Get it? It sucks. Haha. Wow, you're such a comedian. I'm getting into the habit of doing a single turn for some of these LP stuff. Ah, oops. So I see if I put the green piece there, the only thing that can go in that hole is an eyepiece. So it's better to put that guy. Although, and then it's still just an eyepiece or a J piece, which is still not very good things to choose from. That's better than only eyepiece. Do this again. Alright, one spin and then you go like that. And press the L button 3 times. That's crazy. We'll just pretend that we had to. That we don't have undo. Yeah. I opened up social media today. Big mistake. No, it's always a big mistake to open social media. I like it especially. I think I'm talking about Twitter or something. I'm talking about Blue Sky. Nothing super crazy, just the thing with subscribe star or whatever, and then I saw a post that was like the opposite end of that, and I was like, I mean, you guys got no self-awareness, huh? See that guy there, that cube there? Hold on. Real Tetris time. I put it there instead of here because it means you can put an L or a J piece there. If I'd put it in the other spot, I wouldn't be able to put this one down. We out. Today you learned one secret Tetris technique. Doctors hate him. And it's not that important, but it's okay. I like that because I saw there was a blue one coming in. Never heard of blue. Oh, sorry, I probably said it funny. Blue Sky. The only guys who say blue ski are wrinkled politicians who have hardly used a computer in their life. Blue ski. Also, hello Charlie and hello Raishinpu. Never heard of Blue Sky either? It's it's not like a dispute or anything. It's a Twitter alternative that got popular, being like, oh, we're not like Twitter, we're cool guys, come use our website. I don't know. Functionally, it's not very different from Twitter, and the people who run it are kind of annoying tech bro types as well, so it's... I don't know. Honestly, I just use it because that's what everyone... Since I'm an artiste and I'm like supposed to use social media or something. Bleh. Yeah. I like saying bisky. Oh. If I had my way, we would just go back to... Well, we can't really go back to DeviantArt, but I would rather use something like DeviantArt that's actually like made for art stuff, but DeviantArt sucks now. DeviantArt blows chunks now. Kev. Okay, I'll just go for another stack up here. We like, and I don't like, you don't like optimization and stuff. But for pure vision, you can make the shadow piece more opaque. I use that myself. Oh. Okay, might check it out at some point. It's not that I don't like optimization. Why did I do that? Hold on. I placed that there. I'm gonna have to like only put a T piece in the corner. I don't know. I think I'm just at a point in my life where I don't really want to put as much time into video games as I have been doing, I guess. Video games used to be one of my only hobbies. Honestly, don't know what I prefer to have as a way to see art in terms of social media. That type of bit. Yeah. I don't know, I liked Deviant art because, well, besides the fact that it wasn't like a modern algorithm scrolling bullshit, oops. The main thing was that or one of the things is that you got you could like get notifications for. I guess it didn't matter as much at the time because I didn't really. Most of my time using DeviantArt, I was just someone that like watched other people or whatever. But you could get separate notifications for people's text posts and separate notifications for their like art posts and separate notifications for when people commented on stuff or whatever. I didn't have to worry about. I don't know. I could look at things that I wanted to look like, or I could filter out this and that. And like, I don't know, if I want to look at some artists' gallery now, I have to skim through the meme posts first. No, it's really hard to like, I don't know. It's really hard to look for like art stuff. Yeah, I forgot. DeviantArt has a gallery, or I mean, it had a gallery. I guess it still has a gallery, but we don't even talk about DeviantArt anymore. I think FF is nice enough. FF? What's FF? I watched the Capcom Cup last night. A modern Elena qualified in losers. Oh. Is that a good or bad thing? I'm not sure. I think I still have mixed feelings on modern versus classic controls. TM. I say bluskers. That sounds like the name of a cat or something. Yeah. Gather being harder to see with social media is a bummer. Yeah. Another thing on DeviantArt, people would put their favorite piece of art on their front page. You could customize your profile page on DeviantArt to prioritize whatever you wanted to show. So people usually had their best picture on the front, not the front, at the top. But then on social media, what people usually put at the top is a pinned post, because you can only have one thing there, and it's all centered right in the middle, and all the space on the sides gets wasted because it's optimized for phones and shit. So then I don't know. Fussy ass Tetris stack again. I don't know, normally you'd have on back when people used DeviantArt, normally you'd have you'd have your favorite thing of art, and then it'd be kind of on the left, and then their whatever their profile information would be on the right. At the same time, you could see both of them, and then you scroll down further if you want to see their most recent stuff. And then, yeah, I don't know. Must be an indie alternative to DeviantArt, no? Yeah, there was a few recent ones that I saw. I can't remember the names of them off the top of my head. There was one called Cheesy Art, and there was one called Kara, I think. Except that one's a little more for professionals, quote unquote. It's more like ArtStation, I think. There was some, I don't know. There's a lot of smaller ones that popped up recently when Twitter was shit in the bed. Yeah, I guess Fur Affinity and Weasel have existed, but they're more furry art. Mostly furry art focused. I did use Weasel a bit way back. Weasel's the one that's a little older, but it's not as old as DeviantArt. I don't know. It's alright. It's reminds me of Fur Affinity a little bit. Lets you upload music and art just like Fur Affinity, and writing, which is a nice thing. I think DeviantArt was also... Yeah, DeviantArt was also okay, well, I don't think you could upload music to DeviantArt, but some people found workarounds with Flash Player stuff. Lol. Yeah, I don't know. The last time I tried using Weasel, just browsing the site, not even uploading anything to it, the website seemed pretty laggy and unstable. Like, I think sometimes pages would just stop loading. I don't know if maybe they, I don't know, they're like having hosting issues or something. But that was maybe like a year ago, so I don't know, I haven't really looked at it much. It's unusual because modern uses 4 buttons instead of 6 and they do less damage. Oh yeah, I forgot. I keep forgetting that there's that nerf to the damage that modern does. And a little strange. Well, maybe not strange. I mean, I guess they wanted to disincentivize. They probably did that to disincentivize. I don't know, like the pro players being like, I use modern because it lets me do 1 button anti-air. I think Weasley's trying to be kind of like for a DeviantArt. Or Weasel, rather. For Affinity also lets you do that with getting a favorite art on the left side and more other informations on the right side. Oh. Yeah, I guess it probably lets you do that. I haven't really, I don't know. I stopped updating my Fur Affinity at some point. I just couldn't be bothered to... I got tired of uploading to multiple websites. So the last thing I put on Fur Affinity was 2 years ago. I still... well, the only thing I use Fur Affinity for now is, following porn artists. Lol. Them out even. I guess we just put that. Yeah, sure is a good thing there's a piece folding, or else I'd be so bad. Last time I used it was pretty solid and not laggy. I must have just... It must have just been having a bad server day or something, I don't know. A lot of the, not a lot of the, what's it? I think there's probably been more alternatives than there ever was, but, like, I don't know. Feels like there's no point to me trying to, like, use some random fuck-ass alternative, because, I don't know, I'm like a tiny little guy. And, jumping over to an alternative thing really makes... Or not, maybe not makes the most sense, but it's like... If you already have a few thousand on some other website, you'll be able to at least get some guys to move over to the other one or whatever, but like... I have, what, 300 followers on Blue Sky? I don't know. I don't really feel like doing the social media thing anymore anyway. see how many times it takes me to... Okay. I was trying to do that thing where you just move it over at high speed and slam it in the hole. Slam it in the hole, damn. Got a thingy in my elbow. Don't blame me for having to upload to like 7 different sites every time a new art happens. Yeah, I actually haven't been uploading my art to Blue Sky either, I just don't really care enough. I don't know. When I uploaded more art stuff, like fucking 4 years ago, maybe. I also did a lot more like artist hustle crap, like I have an old drawing I did of Jasper, which I think still looks nice. And that was like a Halloween pick. It was supposed to be a Halloween pick, but I mean, it was just my character. One of my characters just kind of had the zombie vibes already, so lol. But I don't really do those kind of things anymore. Or like, I have some old drawings I did that were like Pokemon fan art. Does that really count as Pokemon fan art when it's really just a Pokemon with big fat ass? I don't know. Like, I don't know. I usually just use my Blue Sky to complain about whatever I'm complaining about that day now. I love complaining. Also, hello, Dave. Bing, bing, bing. Oh. Wait, by F, do you mean for affinity? I usually see people abbreviated as FA, not FF, so I got fuzzled. I like how your new arts are coming along though. Oh, thank you. It'll be the new age of scoots for an entire 6 months until I accidentally change my art style again. Goofy? Yeah, I see. Basically, I've never seen people use FA to refer for affinity. To be honest. BH. We are. Oh, thanks for the water charm. Yeah, I zoomed in the... You may not have noticed if you didn't catch the last Petrio streams or whatever, or you just aren't familiar with this game too much, but figured I should probably cut out some of the empty space. I was gonna use this full screen overlay or whatever. Got the pictures right up on the bottom of the screen again. Oh, well, yeah. If it was a real Tetris match, I would have to just live with my poor decisions. I get to cheat when Zen mode. No more funny noise Tetris is. Do you like, or I like how the Tetris overlay looks like this. I can see you and the Tetrio. Yeah. Yeah, I also set up the... oh, I guess I always set up the like, color changing, screen overlay, whatever shit, I don't know, for the full screen. I usually do, for the full screen overlay. I had a thought like, oh, what if I grabbed a very small portion of the screen and the color overlay changed depending on what piece I was holding or some shit. But that might be a little too silly. I don't know how I'd set that up anyway. Oh, I did the thing where I gotta put a line piece back there again. There was a Taiwanese girl, she went up to 1K back-to-back months. Oh, that's really messed up. I don't know if I could keep up the Tetrises for that long. Sorry, I'd rather say that's pretty impressive. I just say that's really messed up for like literally everything. Still not super great with like, I don't know, placement places. No, piece placements to keep stuff flat or whatever. Oh, I guess I'm better at it than my partner is. Lol. No. I don't know, I still end up doing stuff like this. Where I'm not really... I guess it's not too bad as long as I can fix it in a couple pieces or whatever. Game music is nice, it's not something I'd expect for a Tetris game. Well, partly because I think this oh, I don't know, I was looking at the music recently, and by recently I mean like an hour ago, looking at the music, and it's, well, okay, it's not like royalty free, but it's like, you know, licensable music you can use for small projects or whatever, that sort of thing. But also like, the only music you've heard so far is the Calm playlist, because yeah, they use a different soundtrack for PvP. PvP Tetris. Yeah, it's also, you aren't gonna hear any. You're not gonna hear the Tetris theme because that's copyrighted. I don't know, I think it sounds nice. Placement look less shaky than last stream. For snaps. Probably because it takes me a little while to remember how to not remember how to, it takes me a little while to like warm back up to this stuff, I guess. I'm gonna do this a lot where I where I'm like, I wanna play this thing again, and then do some Tetrising for like 2 weeks, and then I well, I don't know if it's that I get tired of it or something else is like grabs my attention again, and then I don't come back to it for a few months. I think this is how how most of my interests go, actually. It's not exactly the best for like trying to improve at a thing. PvP Tetris, so awesome. Kind of don't like the PvP playlist. Yeah, I was clicking through some of the... What is it? I was trying to find a specific track because I wanted to listen to it again. And some of the PvP tracks do sound a little more they sound kind of like MIDI tracks in the way that the instruments in them... Oh, that doesn't look very good. The instruments in them are like more obviously digital sounding. I mean, I guess if you're going for the RPG Maker vibes, it's fine. I don't know. Don't like the normal Tetris theme, so that's okay by me. Oh. Well, I mean, I say the Tetris theme is technical. You know, I guess technically it's like a Russian folk song or something. Which is kind of interesting that something like that would be copyrighted by you, but whatever. Is that a folk song? I think it's a folk song. It's a something. It's not originally video game music. Actually, I had never even... But, let me undo that. For a little while... So like my first Tetris that I actually played was on the NES. Not like I was any good at it or anything, but like... They didn't actually have the Tetris theme in that original NES version. So for a while, I didn't even know there was a Tetris theme. TM. The music that I would have most associated with Tetris probably would have been like the theme C or whatever, which is kind of a synthy sounding one. Okay. For Christmas, they have special versions. It's pretty awesome. And there's a little snow on the board. Oh, that's silly. Koro by Nikki is a folk song. Yes. Ah, okay. I don't necessarily have to have the well on the left, but it feels a little more difficult to keep the stack unstable. Whoa, using the Tetris words feels a little harder to, you know. So I usually move it over there. Oops. Silent block placing? Wait, what do you mean? Did I... Let's see. The NES version of the game did have music. It just had 3 different tracks you could choose from. But none of them were the so-called Tetris themed. Had one that was like the Nutcracker, Sugar Plums, whatever, and then I had one that was I don't know, some original synth tune, and I had one other one that I don't know, maybe it was like some other folk song or something. Not really sure. Oh, nice high-rise skyscrapers you got there. Thanks, bro. The Game Boy version I had coded by Nikki, I think. I think I may have played, I may have played the Game Boy version once on someone's I think it was a knockoff Game Boy. It was like a brown or bronze color, and I don't think actual Game Boys looked like that. The only time I ever actually played on an original Game Boy was like a long ass time ago, and it was like, I think it was one of my Chinese relatives that had one. And I don't think I even knew what a Game Boy was at that point. Just remembered it as like some red and white thing with a red thing with white buttons and a greenish. Actually, I don't know if I even remembered it. The screen was greenish. That was just something I added in later when I was like, oh, it had to have been a Game Boy. Well, it could have been a Chinese knockoff thing. That just really looked like a Game Boy. Yeah, later versions like SNES had other folk songs like Kalinka, Ayusha, etc. GBA had some Zelda versions. Yeah, the Brit Game Boy was always great. Ah, okay. Need to... Okay, I guess I don't really need to clean this controller. I could just literally throw it away and use the replacement I bought like a little bit ago. But I like getting the most life possible out of stuff. I already replaced the like silicone. Oh, it's the same track again. I already replaced the silicone bits in this controller like multiple times for the I think I did the D-pad already. And the face buttons as well. But it's actually the other, it's like the shoulder buttons that are acting up more often now. Which is kind of annoying, because I don't think I can just replace a little piece of silicone as easily as with, yeah. I actually need to open up my fight stick and clean it as well, or something. Part of why I have one small tidbit of why I haven't been playing fighting games much either. Because then I boot up fighting game and I'm like, oh yeah, I literally can't, because I'm gonna try to, I don't know, the up and down switches, if I try to push the stick into those positions, it'll either not register at all, or it'll register that input like 10 times really fast. And, what is it, the, I don't know if it's up and down, or if it's just up, or just down, or both, but, I do remember I was having trouble with quarter circles, not, like, they're missing, like, the down. I guess I'd make it down switch. Oh. Remember once got gifted Game Boy because of saving not working at all on it somehow, and I was like 7, and I played Pokemon Gold over and over so many times. Having to end at an about similar place into the game. Huh? I remember there was, I don't even actually remember who this kid was exactly. You know, it's like friend of the parents coming over and they bring their kid and then they're like, they curse me and my sister. Well, maybe not my sister, but whatever. You know, they curse us with having to take care of their kid for a while. Not really take care of, but like distract them, you know. I think at that point I was just like, here, play on this Game Boy. And I remember, I'm pretty sure they like would have like, I don't remember if they actually would like overwrite or save or whatever, but we had Pokemon Red, Blue, and Silver. Was that someone gave us their old Game Boy Pocket. It was one of my sister's like friends. We also got a Game Boy Advance from them later. Because they all had SPs already. Lol. But like they would always get stuck in the in Red and Blue in that cave where you need flash or whatever. Yeah, games are hard when you can't read. No, I'm sure they could read. It's more like they didn't want to read, probably. Yeah. No, a few Tetrio players play on leverless. EGM people use lever though, I think. Yeah, I like the idea of leverless controllers. I don't. What am I doing? I did think that that there's like some small hitbox style controllers that, not small, I guess. No, I guess they are on the smaller end. They're like the ones that use, I think they use all 20mm buttons, and then they're like really flat, so you can put them in a laptop bag or whatever. So then I don't have to worry about being like, damn, random guys in the wild playing fighting games. Would have brought my, if I had known, I would have brought my bulky ass fight stick. Yeah, I don't know. I think the only thing I don't like about leverless is that it's a little bit awkward to do quarter circles and moderately difficult to do half circles. It's very difficult to do, I don't know why I put that eyepiece there. It's very difficult to do, like, 360s, and incredibly difficult to do 720s, but, like, or not incredibly difficult. I tried doing them on keyboard once, which is basically a leverless controller, if you think about it. No, I was trying to do, like, one of Bullet's supers in Blaze Blue or something. I was able to get it twice after like half an hour of trying, I think. But I mean, most characters don't even have those, so it's not a big deal, I guess. And also probably, let's see. Yeah, definitely probably. I'm sure it requires less maintenance than a stick. And it'll probably be better for my wrists too. Damn, a lot of plus points for leverless, huh? Hmm. I think I'd also probably also have. I don't know. Electrics aren't too hard to do on it. It just feels like I have to do it a little slower because I have to like make sure I tap right, let go, and then do down forward. Yeah, I guess that's the main difficulty with leverless is just making sure you return to neutral. Before I started talking about fighting games, even though the context was Tetris, really messed up. Oops. I've only ever played a little bit of Blaze Blue. I picked it up for a very short time when they made that rollback patch, and then I picked literally the worst character. Some might argue that Iron Tiger is worse, but he's like cool guy grappler. He has tools to swing the match in his favor in a more like explosive way or whatever. I don't know. Anyway, and then I played against someone who was a lot better at it than me, and I lost a lot, and I was like, damn. Damn, I should have picked the top tier. No, or maybe I should have just played Ragnar. Basically Ryu, right? I don't know, I'd always end around the radio tower to the point where my father had a rare moment of pity and got me a DSi and a Pokemon White edition. Oh, yeah. My parents never really, like, bought me those kind of things. Okay, well, initially they were totally opposed to the idea of buying me any sort of game, console, anything. Although once the barrier had been broken from what was it? Once my sister's friend had given us like a Game Boy Pocket and 2 Game Boy Colors and a Game Boy Advance. It was like, oh, okay, well, technically we also had an NES before, much longer before that already, but by the time we got the NES, they were already printing games for the N64, so it didn't really count since it wasn't like we were able to get anything new for it. You know, Amazon wasn't really a website yet. Had to go to fucking Walmart. But like, yeah, when we got the GBA, they were still making games for that, so I was like, could actually go and get new games for it. Kind of messed up. So then by that point, my parents, mostly my dad, since my dad was the American one, and my mom was the one that usually was like, video games will rot in your brain. And now she browses YouTube shorts all day. But like, yeah, even then I still had to like, my dad would make me save up like $5 a week allowance, or the, I don't know, Christmas money, or money that I made as in you'd be like, if you rake up the leaves in the backyard, I'll pay you $10 because it had already been established that my ass was not gonna be doing chores otherwise. So like, I had to raise up some money for at least half of the thing, and then my dad would pay for the other half. So I was able to get a Nintendo DS Lite when I was in 4th grade. The first game I got for it was a Mega Man ZX. Yeah. Oh yeah, I've been planning to, That makes it sound like the thing I'm putting a lot of mental energy towards. No. I want to check, like, my... What is it? So I'm a big Mega Man fan, TM. But at the time, you know, I mean, I just mentioned, like, online ordering wasn't really... no, I guess eBay was a thing. Maybe I just didn't really think of doing it. Maybe I was just a dumb baby brain. But like, I only have a physical copy of like the last Battle Network game. But I was thinking I should check my copy and see what my deck in it was, just to see how fucking terrible it was. How terrible it probably was back then. Because I remember back then I had trouble with like the New Game Plus stuff. And I played through them again recently, and I shredded bases dumb, edgy ass like it was nothing. Yeah. You never stood a chance. Okay, well I did have to reset a few times to get good RNG. Good roll of chips, but whatever. I've been... Oh. Okay, we're fine. I've been watching some videos of like... So there's a competitive Battle Network scene. Because every cool game with PvP gets to have a Battle Network scene, gets to have an online multiplayer scene. They only play the last game though, because that's the one that's the most balanced and like suited to PvP. Oh yeah, Muddy wanted to like watch me do some PvP after I finished the story of the 6th game, but I don't know, I'm a little scared. I did find out there is a rollback patch / it's like a launcher thing. It was pre-included with save files that have 99 copies of every single chip, so you don't have to worry about grinding area grab, not even grinding area grab star, because you can't do that. You don't have to worry about grinding Zenny and shit, and then going to the chip trader and burning all your shit just for a measly chance at getting area grab star when it probably won't even drop anyway. So that's cool. But that also means I don't have as much of an excuse to play it. Battle Network also has some cool speedruns. It does. They're more on the like, from what I remember, they're more on the technical RNG seed type of end. Or no, that's only for the like first 3 of them, because there's excuse me, There's like some RNG manipulation stuff where, what is it? Oh, how did I do that? What is it? It's like when you boot up the game, the RNG seed stays. Okay, I don't remember exactly what it is, but it's like doesn't get randomized as much as it should, so in like force. I don't know. I'm trying to remember the thing while playing Tetris. Lol. Yeah, in the later games you can't rely on the RNG like that, so you know. I had to give up my funny number, so sad. How the tables turn and such. Oh, the YouTube shorts. Yeah, it's I don't know. It's something I've complained about a few times. No, it's something I've mentioned to my partner with like how my mom used to have some more interesting hobbies, and I guess my dad too. Although he kind of stopped. He was more athletic hobbies for him, and he kind of stopped doing them by the time he got married, just because, you know, it's old people shit. No, I guess because you can't really be going out hang gliding when you have a wife or whatever. But like my mom used to do, like, she'd make little bead stuff or do like Chinese knot tying sort of. There's like this little Chinese dragon she's made out of like knots wrapped around a wire skeleton frame. And there's like a thing hanging on the wall, like on a, I think it's like a Chinese character over like a little bamboo mat, but like she doesn't do any of that anymore. She used to do that a lot, just as like a free time thing. But she's been subsumed into the YouTube Shorts hell zone. I guess we could complain about my dad too. No, I usually complain about my mom because my mom's the more annoying, shitty parent. But besides the like sort of, I guess, outdoorsy stuff that I never really saw my dad do anymore. Well, he still did skiing, since that one's less of like a dangerous / expensive investment activity. But he used to do like scuba and hang gliding. He used to have a hang glider in the garage. I think he probably got rid of it by now. They're just waiting to die. But like, I don't know, he also used to have an interest in guitar, and then I remember at some point I was like, you should pick up guitar again. And he's like, no, I just can't play it. Just won't even try. But yeah. I guess, you're a risk-taking kind of guy or whatever. You just don't grow old. You grow old by being a safe guy. Thrills you with my mind. Ouch. Sure. Okay, I don't feel like talking about my parents anymore. They're not like that bad. They're not as shitty as Muddy's parents, but I used to think my dad was like an alright parent-sicle, but now I'm kind of just on him. He was pretty hands-off. He would at least listen to me talk about my hobbies, but wasn't necessarily interested in them or in like helping me develop stuffs or whatever. So, you guys play video games with your parents? That's ridiculous. Me when someone's parental says that, oh yeah, my mom's my fursuit handler. You what? And then I killed them. My eye lasers. Yeah. Real words from someone that I got to meet in person at Purdue. Some cool artist who I barely actually know. Also, they're like quite a bit younger than me, which is a real blow to the confidence when I'm like, oh, this guy's like 3 years old and he can draw better than me. Okay. Had similar experiences with my parents generally. Oh. All of the above? Okay. Network, but I remember some of them have non-manipulated routes as well. Yeah. Still waiting for Capcom to make something that isn't just another... They're doing another... it's not a reboot. They're doing another classic Mega Man, which is fine. I guess the classic fans. How many classic fans are left? No. Okay. Was Mega Man getting advertised where you lived, or did you just see it and knew it looked interesting to you? Because I know around here there was not that much advertising for it that I saw when I was younger. More so for the biggest Nintendo titles. I knew Mega Man, but didn't see much of it at all. So the only reason I knew what Mega Man was is because before I could even form memories. No, at some point, I don't know when, but it must have been when I was pretty young, my dad had bought us a copy of Mega Man X for Windows. Luckily, thankfully, for us pathetic little creatures, this was at the point where whoever was making those Mega Man ports was actually making semi-competent versions of them. So this was like a real port. It wasn't some guy's fucking garage platformer project that got reworked into a Mega Man game last minute with Duke Nukem assets. But no, it was... So my Mega Man X was one of my first video games, basically. You know, I never actually I kind of forgot that that was the case. If someone asked me what my first video game was, I'd be like, oh, I don't know. But like, funny thing back then, we had like this red and white joystick that we used, and we played Mega Man X with a combination of, at the time we played it with a combination of like, we would use the joystick to move and shoot, and then I think we pressed, me and my sister, we pressed shift to jump because we couldn't rebind the buttons on this joystick in the game. So it was MS-DOS era. I don't think there was even an options menu in this game, although I'm sure some MS-DOS games probably had options for key rebinding stuff. But like, oh yeah, also, at some point this disc became like corrupted and it would never advance past the opening stage because instead of doing the proper, not proper, I don't know why this game was like this, but like whenever you beat a stage, okay, so there was like a 1% chance actually that sometimes it would make it past the fucking opening stage, but usually what would happen was that when you beat the opening stage, it would like, or like any stage, it would like go to like some little command line window to load the next thing, but instead it would just load the fucking opening stage again. Normally what happened in the SNES version is you'd see the weapon get screen, and then you'd see the password screen. Oh, that's probably why. It's because they got rid of the password screen and they replaced it with some sort of like save game system. Which was probably totally unnecessary. They probably could have just left it as a password thing. You know, just for fun. Just for sillies. But yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we got a lot of the opening stage in. We had some other games. We had a copy of Mega Race because I believe it was included with IBM PCs as a pack-in for a while. We only had it for a little bit because I was like 4 fucking years old, and I think I got some gamer rage, and then I took it out of the disk drive and I stomped on it or something, and then it didn't work anymore. And then, well, then after that point, I didn't destroy video games anymore because destroying video games only once. No, just kidding. I destroyed a copy of Monster Hunter 4 for the 3DS much later in life because some things never change. And man, I took it out and I bit it. And then I messed the cartridge up really bad, and then if I put that cart back in the 3DS, it would like short circuit the 3DS and just make it shut off immediately. That was interesting. Anyway, I got another copy and then I didn't do that again. I got a bit far enough into it that I got into like the circuitry of it, and I don't know, that was weird. I've never played VG with my parents either. Yeah, I think the closest thing, honestly, well, okay, well, firstly, my dad did play video games for a short time. I remember him playing a bit of a game called, Abuse for MS-DOS. It was like an early twin stick platformer slash whatever, like, I don't know. Like, now it doesn't seem too notable, but I guess at the time most games didn't do the thing where it was like platforming with arrow keys and then aiming and shooting with the mouse. I remember that game being a lot scarier than it actually is. Not that scary. Just has some dark environments, and depending on what copy of the game that you play, there may not be any music. Because there's like some stripped down versions of it and stuff. Yeah, yeah, I played a pirated version initially. I think that's why it was a stripped down version. Also, or I guess there's also just some instances where the music just might not work because of weird sound card stuff. In the old days where they're like looking for your ad lib or your sound blaster or whatever. Weow. Does that make me unk? Don't never call me unk. Right, and there was like some other game that I remember my dad playing that I cannot remember what the hell it was. I think he played as a rabbit or something in that game. I don't fucking remember. They had those little crocodile guys or something. Maybe it was Jazz. No, I don't think it was Jazz Jackrabbit. Probably not. But like the closest thing to parents playing video games is that one of my aunts in China used to be a big gamer. She introduced me and my sister to quite a few probably obscure games, but apparently she doesn't play video games anymore. She has decreed them a waste of time or something, which is a little bit upsetting. Totally unrelated, but apparently, according to my mom, my extended Chinese family are probably homophobic, so this has reduced me wanting to, or not probably, there's, what is it, one of my cousins is apparently like a little bit homophobic, so that has reduced me wanting to visit them again or whatever. Yeah, there's, but like, yeah. There's this one Taiwanese RPG that there's no English translation of. I have yet to ice. Oh, let's see. So I was either. Okay, I guess I don't know. It would be a very difficult thing to do, and I probably wouldn't even actually. I'd probably give up 2% of the way in, but like, really thought of like trying to fucking English translate some ancient MS-DOS game. It's an RPG called Town, not to be confused with Toontown. And the well, actually the Chinese name is probably better to like refer to it, but it's called Amal Agol, which I don't know if that actually means anything besides it's like Mal means cat and Gol means dog. I don't remember if Ah means anything, or if it's just like a little, you know, they just did that to make it have it's a funny mouth noise for this silly title or whatever. Oh, my Skyper is looking great. Let me try and redo this. It's not really anything too special, to be honest, when I think about it, but it's just a game that me and my sister played a lot when we were younger. Although it's usually more my sister playing it because, like, fuck, I can't read. I'm illiterate. If I was in China, I'd be illiterate. My sister's the one that has usually been better at language, Chinese language stuff. I don't know. It's just like a standard JRPG, to be honest. Okay, maybe. Oh, standard. It's like, I don't know. It's got like an active combat system thing, like some of the Final Fantasy games or whatever, where you have to wait for a timer before your guys can act, and then can be attacked while you're like still picking out attack to do or whatever. Although technically the game does pause once you open up like a spell menu or something. Also, I actually don't even, I hardly remember what the plot is. I'm sure my sister could explain it to me, but it's like, I don't. Squeeze me. Real skyscraper moment. I guess I'll die. I'll just start building it up on the side there. There's some other... Oh yeah, there's another, actually, another... It's not Chinese only, it was like Japanese originally, and then with a Chinese translation. There's a series called the Farland series. There's like a few different games in the series or whatever. It's like, I think the ones that my aunt had were Farland Saga 1 and 2. These are also just kind of, well, actually like strategy RPGs. I guess kind of like a little bit like, you know, like Final Fantasy, or not Final Fantasy, fuck those, I'm Marth. Fire Emblem, or, well, maybe not more like, maybe more like Disgaea or something. Disgaea? I don't know. And there's, what was it? Or maybe it was Farland. I think it was Farland Saga. Oh yeah, my aunts didn't have speakers on her computer, so all these games that she would like, that we either we would go down, since, what is it, we would usually stay with the other aunt, the eldest sister, so she was like in apartment 13 or something, and then my other aunt, who was the gamer, she was on floor 12, so we would go down. We would go down the stairs, and then we would be like, and then we just like playing our pooter, you know. Or sometimes for like the story games, you know, she would be the one that played because we can't fucking read. That's because learning to read Chinese text is moderately difficult if you're. Okay, I mean, it's perfectly doable. It's just that I was a kid and I didn't want to fucking learn. I hate learning. But like, what game was I gonna? You remember? I don't know. There's a couple other games that, there was one I actually streamed recently? No, that was probably like 2 years ago. Called Magic and Mayhem. I don't know how the heck my sister was able to find that game, because it's not like I remember the names of any of these, since they're probably translated to Chinese and stuff. That one never actually was released. That one did have an English. It was originally an English language game. It was never released in America, apparently. And that game also, apparently Magic and Mayhem has multiplayer, but I don't think anyone's... The game's internal logic runs at 10 frames per second. I don't think anyone's taking... running Magic and Mayhem tournaments. Very clunky. A very clunky video game. I was gonna make a joke, not a joke tier list, but like a not very serious tier list for it, for all the spells in the game once. I never finished that. But you should know that Skeleton is pretty good. Skeleton carried me through the story. There was some other game. I don't remember the name. I mean, actually, I kind of half remember the name of it, but I would have to... It was a Diablo ripoff. Apparently, it wasn't very good, but it's not like I knew that as a kid. And by not very good, it was just technically unstable. It's called like Broken Land or something. Apparently, it crashed a lot, or maybe it didn't crash a lot for my end, but no. If you look it up, you'll see people say it was a buggy, shitty game. Oops. Oh yeah, I think a lot of these games, my aunt actually, she just like pirated them because it was easier to access them that way. You know, Great Chinese Firewall or whatever. Or whatever. Sorry, I might have. I'm not very good at enunciating my words. Thing I should work on. She actually gave us... She just gave us the discs for a few of these games. Elgin or something. I mean, I guess it's like she probably played them to death. It's not like she needed them anyway. Which memory? So like one of them she gave us was a pirate copy, or not? Yeah, it was a pirate copy of Full Throttle. She also gave us a pirate copy of The Neverhood. Those are both point and clicks. I think they're pretty pog champs. I streamed them once, but it goes by pretty quick because I already know everything that I'm supposed to do in them. So, I don't know. 4 years? Best I probably had done is eat the cartridge or try, at least try to. Oh. Yeah? Oh, maybe, well, I don't know. I say I was probably 4 since I barely even remember committing the cardinal sin of destroying video game. Oh yeah, she also gave us a copy of hmmmm 2 in Chinese. In Chinese. You in Chinese. Sorry. Silly video. But I saw it once. The voice acting in the Chinese version of hmmmm 2 makes Sarge sound so different. It's probably because it wasn't professional voice acting, it was probably just like Chinese bootleggers like making their own translation or some shit, I don't know. hmmmm 2 is also not a very good video game, but to me at the time it was, you know, it was pog champed. Pog champing. Well, it's not bad, it's just not good. It's got some serious pathfinding problems with the AI. For like the campaign. There was a multiplayer mode in it. I don't think I've ever played it though, since you just had the one PC. It's not like we had anyone to do network multiplayer with. And we didn't really have controllers back then. Okay, no, we had that joystick, but like, wasn't really as common. Maybe I'm talking out of my ass, but I did not have a controller for PC games for quite a while. It was only until I think when Steam was getting bigger, and partly the reason I got a controller was because of shitty PC ports of console games where oh yeah, it was like where they just didn't really bother to like make very good mouse and keyboard support. Usually, okay, there are a few games where I don't think there's any games where you like had to use controller, but I don't know. Say for example, played Assassin's Creed 1 and 2 on mouse and keyboard. Probably not the best. No, there was actually some specific. Okay, I was able to complete the entire game on mouse, like the first and second game on mouse and keyboard, but there was a couple of segments where, so you know, Ass Creed being the parkour game or whatever, there was a couple of segments where, so like you would be climbing up on some little thing sticking out on the wall or whatever, and then they would want you to rotate the camera a certain way, and then like, so the camera orientation would change, like which, I don't know, honestly it'd probably be easier for me to just like whip out my art program and try and draw it, but I'm not gonna do that. But like, there was a few instances where the way that a certain area of like certain thing that you would try to hang off of, and then they want you to jump to the opposite side, and then, so you know, I try and rotate the camera, get it in a good way so that I could like use the arrow keys, so because you know you can only get those 8 directions because we don't have analog sticks. Try and rotate to be like able to jump off the correct way, but then the camera rotation would change the like context of the directions of which way you'd be moving, so then I wouldn't be able to jump off in the right direction. I was able to get it, like I was able to somehow make it across like this gap or whatever eventually, but it was really annoying. Thankfully there was only a few bits that were like that though. Oh, and I guess another example of a game that wasn't made for mouse and keyboard was like Sonic Adventure 1. Oh yeah, the Steam version of that game was really... Okay, I guess it's not really shitty, it's average amount of shitty, but for some reason they like they reported the game from Xbox 360 and PS3. It was which the Xbox 360 and PS3 version was a port of the PC version. So they like reported, I don't know, reported the game like twice. No, 3 times. Because I believe the PC version was a port of the GameCube version, which was Sonic Adventure DX. You know, the like slightly modified version of the Dreamcast original. Lord. You know. But yeah, the Sonic Adventure sometimes asking you to do some precise, maybe not that precise, but could only I don't know, only got 8 directions. was perfectly playable on keyboard though, to be honest. There was actually a more annoying thing with the Steam port of Sonic Adventure. It wouldn't save your fucking save files properly. Because for some reason, maybe they finally fixed this after 17 gorillion years or something, but the game would not make the, like, it didn't make a save folder. So he had to go in and manually make a save folder, or it would actually start making saves. I guess they didn't include the edge case of save folder wasn't created yet. So maybe it, like, checked the directory. After was it checked if directory existed, and then instead of making the directory if it didn't, it just gave up. Yeah. I've coded like an entire 3 programs before. So I can totally say with confidence that's probably what happened. Oops. Sorry. Oopsie. Double oopsie. I never finished my computer science degree. Kev. BBH, the only reason I even did computer science. That silly guy gamer thing where it's like, someone tells you, oh, you like computers, you should do programming. And by someone, I mean my parents. I don't actually like programming. I'm decent at it. Like, I think I have a solid grasp of the sort of engineering logic or whatever. Computer brain logic. But it's just, I don't know, I don't think I've ever made a program for fun in my free time or whatever. Some guys are out here making graphics rendering pipelines for fun because they're little freaks. I don't know. I don't even like programming. I don't even like programming or scripting sort of stuff enough to like make my own website. Okay, well, making websites might actually suck. No, what are some other little things that a little guy might do as a personal project just because they're evil? I don't know, making a music synthesizer from scratch. The guy who made Cave Story made his own music synthesizer and a proprietary file format for it. So he's just a fucked up, evil little guy. Actually, he's made a few different synthesizers. He's made like, or not, what is it? It's like he made, sorry, synthesizer and a music making / editing program. By a few versions, what I mean is that he's made like an updated one at some point. The original, I think it's original. The original one he made was called Org Maker. Org is short for Organia. I don't know if it means anything. And then he made another one later called PX Tone. I think it's supposed to be like PX like Pixel. That's his online handle, yeah. That one's more fully featured. If you wanted to get in... okay, I remember there was someone I used to... I guess I am nominally still friends with this person. I could be like, hey, little guy. No, he's not a little guy. He's a normal-sized guy. Hey, normal-sized guy. Do you want to blah, blah, blah? And he'd be like, sure. He'd be like, oh, hi, Scoots. Haven't talked to you in a while. I I remember he would recommend this program, PX Tone. People who wanted to get into music because it's free and it's pretty simple. It's not that. Not as simple as Org Maker, but it is more simple than, say, FL Studio, which would be $99 at the very least if you wanted to actually make stuff with it. Or LMMS, which is kind of like FL Studio, but I think it's a little bit less intuitive from a very short time that I messed around with it. I really like the setup FL Studio has with like pattern. Was it making patterns and then you stitch them together for the thing for the yeah. Crunch. That's also how I talk to normal-sized guys. Well, I didn't want to. He deserves the proper respect, you know. Not to imply that little guys are not deserving of respect. Oh, look at me, I'm using the line pieces to make a skyscraper. No, it's not a skyscraper, but kind of a waste. I don't know, I just say little guys as like a generic phrase sometimes. They're not supposed to be an actual size or whatever. Yeah. Or well, not generic. It's like when I'm talking about people abstractly, sometimes I say little guys. Little guys on the internet would like to have you believe that I don't know, what would they like you to believe? I'm not really sure. Anything's possible if you put your mind to it. Or whatever. Anything's possible if you put your mind to it. But also, little guys are just born knowing how to be a god gamer. They came out the womb with like... They came out the womb anti-airing the doctor. And he tried to... No. Sorry, I used to kind of hold those two conflicting beliefs at the same time. Oh my god, hey baby. Did I wake you up with my big gap in energy? Yeah. Sorry. I think it's fun when you say little guys. Most guys? Muddy appearance, hi. Oh, they're gone already. I was gonna say that you said hello, but she escaped. Oh, has my baby immediately gone to watch YouTube? What's that sound emanating from the other room? Oh, could be. Oh, was that a wee otter in a stretch? I didn't. Thank you for the wee otter in the stretch. I think this might be a just chatting stream in disguise. Oh yeah, I had an unfinished. I had some unfinished thoughts. Let's roll back the tape a little. Not that tape. Oh, the tape in my head. Despite not liking programming stuff, I did want to take a serious look at making video game again. Because I think... No, it wouldn't be fun. But I think it would be a... I don't know. I want to put my art skills toward something. I just gotta get these fucking 10 million year old commissions that I haven't touched out of the way. Also, there's a 5% chance that I could make like 3 cents from it, but that's pretty unlikely. I'm probably just gonna make... Honestly, I'll probably just make stuff for free at first. Just make... I don't know. Put it on an itch or something. Kind of like my, my one singular, album, which is really just a collection of some tracks that I've made over like 5 or 6 years. They weren't supposed to be in an album, so they don't really have any thematic anything holding them together. Yeah, I don't know. I'm really bad at keeping the words in my head. Say something else. Smash. Kef. Alright, yeah, game dev. Got basically all the skills I'd need to make a little guy game. Okay, well, there's one small problem. A little lacking in the writing department. Like, you ever looked at my Toy House character pages or whatever? There's not really any lore attached to anything. Or technically, lore is I don't know. I got some words for the guy who... I got some stern... for the guy who invented the word lore. No, now, a more accurate word would be backstory, but not necessarily mark of very good writing team. I want to get lost in the backstory machine or whatever. But like, I don't know. I think writing... writing is kind of a more general thing when we're talking about multimedia projects or whatever. Like, it doesn't necessarily have to be prose or something, but like, I don't know. A few times I have tried writing something I didn't really enjoy. I don't know, maybe I should just make something like really cringe and bad just to get it out of my system. Lol. I don't know. Like, say, for my art stuff, a lot of the stuff I draw is kind of, maybe not, maybe, I don't know if self-indulgent is the right word, but it's like a lot of, well, I like furry booba. I like hot furry grills, so I draw hot furry grills. John Deere. But like, I don't want to write something that's like, that's not the kind of story that I enjoy. Fan servicey type of junk or whatever. Eastman Bible. We're on our way to building a big old skyscraper. Hammer. Oh. Yeah, back to back. A little closer to what I'd probably be doing in like a multiplayer match. Yeah. What if I would turn this into... No, I don't think I'm going to make this into a teaspoon thing. There. Oh yeah, I remember for a short time Muddy was trying to do, she was trying to do 40 line clear and get better at, or, I don't know. She wanted to beat my time or something, which I don't know if I could even beat my time at this point. Well, specifically on controller. But like, she only did 40 line clear, and she didn't do like, so I think she was too focused on trying to go fast and beat my time. Oh my god, my time? Is that a 2x KO reference? Deep cuts? No. I don't know. When I was learning to place stuff better, or like learning to do T-spins, I actually played pretty slow because I'd be sitting there trying to think about the best place to put something with the upcoming pieces, and like I'm just kind of playing without thinking because I'm talking. Spending a lot of time thinking about where to put the next thing. Or like trying to do T-spins and then just failing horribly because I hadn't locked that bit of my brain yet or whatever. I'm still kind of bad at doing T-spin triple. And there's some common setups that I should probably try and get better at if I wanted. Well, I guess it's not like I actually play against other people, but it is something I would like to learn just because. There's like one called Super T-spin double. It's like 2 in a row. Kind of like a triple setup, but a little block missing, so it does not actually result in a triple. Oh, the skyscrapers are looking. Skyscraper values going up. Great. That was a waste of eye pieces, but what the city planners wanted me to do. Not really a big deal for the way RNG is leveled out, 7-bag system. I can make poor decisions as much as I want. Yeah, you don't get punished too bad for... Okay, one multiplayer we might die for it, but you don't get punished too bad for making poor making poor piece placements, because you won't be waiting forever for an eye piece. It'll be at least in the next 7 or 14 pieces, depending on. Sorry, whenever I say piece placements, whenever I think about the phrase, I remember this YouTube video, the Boom Tetris for Jeff. Sadly, the other guy in the Boom Tetris for the other guy, Jonas, is not around anymore. But there was a bit in there where one of the commentators said something about how he has really good piecement places, and that, yeah. So it's really hard for me to say the actual words, because I just think of piecement places. He's got really good piecement places. And I try to invert it and like place piecements, and that's not it either. I do like the 2 albums you put out a lot. Oh, I have 2 albums? I forgot that there was technically a second one. The second one doesn't have as many because I don't have as many, like, non-chiptune stuff. I don't even like calling it chiptune, because when I find a little guy out there who made music that he calls chiptune, it's not... I don't know. I guess the stuff I can make that I've made, it could be most accurately described as like faux video game music, or video game music for a video game that doesn't exist yet. Lol. Chiptune's usually kind of more dance music vibe, and like, it's not really about the hardware or its limitations or the whatever so much. I mean, I'm not gonna say that I've ever made stuff that was hardware accurate, but yeah. Because I'm using FL Studio, that's not... I mean, I try my best to stay hardware accurate, but yeah. Chiptune is like the guys using LSDJ to make their sick nasty beats or whatever. I think I downloaded... So LSDJ technically has a ROM that... not technically, I guess you would download the ROM and put it into a thing to use it on a Game Boy. You're gonna use a Game Boy as like a hardware synth for your setup or whatever, but like, I tried messing around with it once. I had no fucking clue what I was doing with it. Yeah, I don't know. Shmee. Oops. Cringe and bad had to be made so that the cringe and good can exist. Yeah, I guess you're right. I guess, I think I've mostly just, for writing stuff, it's mostly just been like prose that I've tried, because like I don't really want to. Okay, so here's the possible vectors of I try to make some sort of writing thing. There's prose. There's making a webcomic. Ugh. I don't want to make a webcomic. Because then I'll be working on it for 90 gorillion years, and then I'll die without finishing it. Or I'll just have to go on hiatus or whatever, like all webcomics. They either finish, and they don't finish. Webcomics either go on forever or they go on hiatus. So I don't want to do that. I'm not really at the point where I want to make game yet. So I don't know, I just use like prose, I guess. Scoot's short film when? No. Oh, let's not do that. I like the noise the back-to-back makes. But it makes a different noise when you get higher up in back-to-backs. He's getting more powerful. Beepant and beep. Ah, yeah. I think this game has got good sound design. And by that I mean I like the funny noises he makes. It's definitely a lot better than Nopomino, which I got reminded of when I was looking up something in my Discord. I don't remember, looking at old messages. Nopomino's got some very loud and scratchy noises. Nopomino is like another free Tetris clone thing. I think people mostly use it for running. So it did have online, but it was like you had to like port forward and stuff. And I think people mostly just use it for like Tetris simulation sort of things now. EDH. Also, Nopomino has no music by default. You have to give it a folder to look for music. So basically you have to provide your own music, I think. If I remember right. So hello Zai. Welcome. Welcome to my realm, Crunch. Did you know Dormammu can combo after this level 3 super? Wow. Sorry. Sorry, not sure. Still don't know what can be called chiptunes. Whenever I recommend it to someone, I say old video game music mostly. Yeah, just say it sounds like retro game music. Oh, you're recommending my album to people? That's kind of messed up, actually. Oh yeah, someone the last con we went to, and Muddy was doing the artist alley thing, and was selling my CD for like 2 hours along with some of our art. Someone asked, oh yeah, someone asked what it sounded like, or like what kind of music it was like, and then Muddy was like, oh, I don't remember if it was Muddy that suggested, like, oh, like what kind of, I said, oh, it sounds like Mega Man music, maybe. Didn't wanna, I didn't like whatever previous answer I was giving, so I'm just gonna say that. I'm gonna say it sounds like it's like Mega Man music. Drive by high, sproink. Yeah, that's so messed up. Some whack-ass piecement places. I mean, it's fine. As long as you as long as you just play stuff fast enough, you can do whatever you want. This one was not a very good placement because you put that there, and then this guy is going to be like that. I won't be able to put anything else there besides the line piece, so I put it over here instead. Big Blaine thoughts. And then I did the same thing with that square piece there. Well, not exactly the same, but kind of similar. Oh, right, I forgot to read that one. Never do T-spin setups if I wanted to play this. If I wanted to play this game more, should try to think about that more often. Whenever I, let's see, maybe once I I don't want to like give up my back-to-back chain quite yet. Um... But, I can like show the, like, I think T-spin doubles are not too hard. Not too hard to figure out how to do. Oh, I have to give up my sick nasty chain. Oops. No, that's fine. Just... Oh my, another? Okay, this is starting to look kind of sus. We should just, yeah, okay, well, I guess that's the end of our sick nasty chain. It made the jingly noise. Okay, I'll try and make some sort of T-spin thing at some point. This kind of looks like a T-spin triple on the right, but it won't actually work, so we're just gonna ignore it. I mean, it could probably be turned into one if I knew what I was doing, but I'm not really that good at that. Especially, like, setups where it's like... I don't know. Okay. Actually just do one right here. So, like... this one probably requires a little more. It's not as obvious. Also, I didn't place the rest of it yet, so that wouldn't actually be a thing yet. See if we can get one that's a little more intuitive to understand. Little beeps this game has? Yeah, I got funny noises. A lot of funny noises. Damn, that's like 7 minutes ago message. I'm having too much. It's because it's too fun to make big Tetris. Excuse me. Okay, well, here's another instance of a similar kind of one. It's got part of a T-shaped hole there already, but we'll build some more and pretend like I didn't see it. But now you've got the entirety of the T-shaped hole down here. And then, so this is the easiest way to make T-spin, is if you have a shape like this, then you create, two T-pieces, yeah. You create an overhang, which you could either do with like any piece that hangs over like this, or you could use a piece where you do something like this, where instead of like, so like that's 2 blocks high on the side, and this is 1 block high on the side. You can put a piece like that, where like the edge of it sits over. So you could also do that with something like that. And then what you do is you put the piece in and spin it whichever way, left ways. Oh, it should also show when it's like a wall kick version or whatever. Let's see. Or I guess I could do that same thing here with that. I'll just make the well here a little taller. For no particular reason. So if you have one like this, you can still, because of the way the kicking, that's what they call it when, whether they call it a wall kick or whatever, just kick. When you put a piece in somewhere, and then it like moves it to the closest valid position. I don't know, the rules for how it's calculated are kind of esoteric, but so I don't know, you don't really need to know exactly how it works, just that it does work. So that's like rotate right. So rotate right once to get it facing this way, and then rotate right again, and then go. Yeah. Tetris situation is crazy. Oh, here's another T-spin. It's because we had a big old hole already for like Tetris thing, and then you got both the oh, it's just something that if you practice it, you'll eventually start noticing opportunities to do it. Like right here, this little hole, this could be a T-spin if we wanted it to be. You'd have to put some more pieces down to like set it up though. I'll do that real quick just for fun of you. Oh, actually, this would also be a demonstration of another sort of thing you can do if I can actually fucking... let's see. And like another way you can make an overhang. Did I? Okay. Let's use this piece right here to make the overhang for the right side of that. And then I'll put a, what is that, an S piece? The green one. That there. Usually you don't want to go out of your way to create T-spins. It's usually just, it's something you either do opportunistically or as like because you have a T-spin, a T-piece coming up, or it's something you do to fix misplaces perhaps. Because if you try to force them, you usually end up making these, you make skyscrapers of epic proportions. So powerful are they. They will not be able to escape my grasp, yeah. Because you don't want to be waiting for a piece. Wow, nice Z-spin. Thanks, I made it myself. Oh, here's another T-spin. Oh yeah, I was gonna show a T-spin triple as well, but you don't really need to. Or a little more. T-spin triples is usually just a thing to fix a misplace. Partly because in multiplayer they're kind of slow to execute. Slower than a T-spin double, I think? No, I don't know. Or, yeah, it's just because it requires a little more setup to even be able to make it possible. Let's see, what I'd be able to... Oh. Maybe like that. There you go. You make a T-shaped thing. And then you make an overhang with some other piece. The overhang needs to be pointing in the same direction as like the little side jutting out thing in the hole. And you also need to have some empty space here to like be able to put the T-piece in. You cannot cannot T-spin in if it's like that, because you want to be able to get the piece in there. It was a mistake that I made sometimes when I was trying to figure these out. You can get it in there with just this much space. You just go like, you just have to rotate it once like that and then spin it twice. Oh, right. What is this, L spin? It doesn't even register as, it doesn't even make a funny noise. But that is a wall kick there, or whatever. I don't know, some of the other spins are also just useful to know for fixing misplaces or like dealing with Z and S pieces, because they're annoying. Oh, okay, they're not always annoying, but they're sometimes there's not really a good place to put them without creating an awkward situation. The only the only piece that doesn't have any spin stuff is the O piece, because it's just a square. What are you gonna do with a square? There's some joke videos out there of like an O spin where they fucking make it teleport into a hole or some shit. But that's not actually possible, unless maybe if you're playing on silly goofy mode or something. I think there is a way to enable O spins on Tetrio for the sillies, but well, that's like one of the joke rule settings or something. I don't know, there's some good videos on T-spins and T-spin openers specifically. Since, like, I don't know, I usually am just playing the Zen mode, so there's always something on the board. But like in multiplayer, it's also helpful to know starting setups with the first 7 pieces. Especially, I think the most useful ones are probably the ones that when you start with Z or S, because it means you don't have to worry as much about putting them in weird little spot or whatever. You can actually like make something out of it. Sorry, did I think I didn't mention the guy's name. Oh, actually, I think they might be on the, I think they're on, so they were for Puyo Tetris. I think they're on the Sega America channel, actually, but they're by someone called, someone whose name is, okay, people call him S2L, but his name is like Stool Softener. S2L, Stool. That's up with laundry high again. Oh my god, you didn't see my T-spin demonstration. I'm shitting and farting. Welcome back. Wait, let me do T-spins again. I have to get rid of this well on the side. He's in my way. Okay, let me just do the thing on the left here. raw swordy, it's fine. First thing you need is it doesn't have to be, it can literally just be like a indentation 1 deep, but that hole there is fine. Probably. Actually, this is a little more. This is probably not something a first time T-spinner would make. TBH, lol. Try and I have to create arbitrary situations once more. Oh, also I fucked it up actually. That's like Imperial Cross if I was bad. Whatever. Just ignore that. T-spin setup. A double T-spin setup for weird little guys. Honk. Maybe the sad honk. I'm playing a little bad on purpose right now. See if I can. Okay. Say this spot over here is okay. Either of these 2 holes we could make into a T-spin, but I'm gonna do this one over here because it's a little simpler. I don't have to place 1 piece before it's like ready. Because if I had a red piece, I could stick it over here, and then this would be a T-spin. 2/3 is, or be part of the way that most of them. Yeah. See, so they're like, what is it? First, you need this T shape, which you know you can do that. I can do this, and then you need to create an overhang. You can either put a piece sticking out like that, which could be a square one, or it could be like that. Or you could also, if I had red piece, if red piece was here, he would be pretty pug, but we're gonna fuck around for a bit while we wait for him to get here. Whoops, we need that for later. Whoops, don't do that. Okay, oh. Oh, never mind. I actually need a different one. That will not work. Let's just put that down again. And then, let's see. Yeah, and then you put this in. And then rotate. Put it clockwise. You can actually go in this way too. Because of the wall kick system, it'll still work. And then just rotate left instead of rotating right. Or leave soon again, but lunch starts now? Oh, okay. Here's another B-spin. Another B-spin guy. Right there. I accidentally just created a T-shaped hole. And then you just gotta make sure you actually fill in everything on the right. Lord. And also one more thing I mentioned was that forcing T-spins is not really a good idea most of the time, because then you kind of start making big stacks while waiting for a T-piece. That was just like a thing you do sometimes for fun, I mean for flavor. Good luck on Tetris King. Okay. Thank you. Oh. Oh, how wretched. Okay, let's clean this up. I'm trying to avoid, you know what, let's just do that. I'll just little guy in there. Oh, you get to see an almighty fuck-ass spin. This one's actually a little unintuitive. So, okay, let's go back a little actually. So this one, it's more intuitive this way, so you can do one of these by like, let's see, for the green, for the Z piece, you rotate right, and then when it's on the overhang, you rotate right again and it goes in. But if you have created a situation like this, you need to rotate it the other way. And then, yeah, it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense in my brain, but that's just how it works. And part of the reason this works is because, so when you spin a Z or S piece, it rotates in a 3x3 grid, which is a little hard to see when it's moving. But yeah, like, whether you rotate left or right does make a difference. Actually, I can go back and show. So like, if I rotated right here, it doesn't matter if I rotate left or right, it's not gonna go in. Because they rotate left and then the valid position is up there. And rotate right, and valid, yeah, it's still up there. It's just like a little... Oh hey, T-spin hole. A little quirk of how the thingy kick system works. In a multiplayer match, it might be a little... Okay, well, in a multiplayer match against a skilled opponent, they would have blown me up already, but delaying cleaning up the stuff and junk to do T-spins kind of messed up. Okay, I might actually go to bed soon. It's 3 AM. Oh. How pissed would you be if they added a rhythm game Tetsuo mode for this year's April Fools? I don't know, that sounds kind of cool actually. I don't know, I like silly modes. But I'm probably also not... I don't know. I'm just a little guy. Hold on, I heard a noise from over yonder. Let me check real quick. Okay, I was just checking on Muddy. Stop so that I'm not potentially keeping Muddy up any longer, and also I'm getting a little tired. And I probably shouldn't make staying up a habit. I don't want to mess my sleep schedule up too much. I just have to tear myself away from the video game. What if I just leave a wretched little block there for next time? And I'll be like, oh yeah, I did that on purpose to annoy future self. That'd be really messed up. I'll do that. I'll just leave it like that. Good night. It was a really enjoyable stream this evening. Yeah, I did a lot of talking. I don't usually do that. Usually I just sit here and growl and stare. Some sort of angry dog. I'll open a new tab and be able to see the. Let me move that over. Let me see if anyone cool is online to raid into. Cool is online. Oh, I can hear myself. Spit Crush, Rivals of A through 2. Better not be the swirly. Okay, it's not the swirly. It's 80% of the time when I click on Spit Crush stream, it's the swirly. Yeah, there's only 2 people I'm following that are live. The other one is just some porn artist that I follow on Fur Affinity. Although I guess the stuff that he works on stream is not porn because you can't do that on Twitch. But yeah, I don't really know. So I don't know what the vibes there are like. I don't know. I'll just raid into Spit Crush because that's one of the goobs. Don't really know Spit Crush that well either, but they... Yeah. There's someone. They're one of the plankton floating around in the clump or whatever.
Yeah, they're actually not playing the swirly song.
Oh, damn. Don't say that. They've only been streaming for an hour, but they'll probably continue for a little while. Oh, when I raid someone who's been live for 5 hours, I get a little worried that they're about to end in the next 10 minutes. And that it was all for naught. Oh, when I click away, it stops playing the cool music. Let me click back over to get the cool music. Okay. Good night, y'all. Get to drink water and don't forget to take your pills and your vitamins. Get a little exercise. I need to do more exercise probably. And don't forget to drink water and eat dinner. You could eat one meal a day if you want, just one really big meal, but I would judge you for doing that, even if you were getting all your calories. Don't forget to shower. Is that it? Hang out with your homies. One homie hangout a week, or else you'll die. Alright, good night, bye-bye. Ugh. Oh.